seen a flurry of activity heading towards the closing bell on Wall Street. The Fed moving forward their stress test results to today from Thursday. Before the closing bell, we saw an early release of those results for JP Morgan, increasing their dividend by 5 cents, also authorising $15 billion of extra buybacks at JP Morgan. And following that, a source comment noting that Bank of America had also passed a stress test. This caused a surge in the equity futures in the US, finishing up in some distinct positive territory across the board, particularly the financial sector. And there was some optimism heading in towards those stress test results. But following the release, we've seen one of the large cap names, Citigroup, actually failing the stress test, their shares falling about 5% in post-market trade. Be interesting to see how participants react as they come into their desk tomorrow, probably not knowing as they left their desk that the Fed had moved forward the test results. Before then, we saw the latest from the FOMC, keeping rates unchanged as expected in terms of the actual statement from the FOMC. Not mentioning QE in any form there, pretty much as expected. And on that note, we saw some particular weakness in the fixed income space, with the US T-notes trading down around 20 ticks at the Treasury pick close today. Also, we saw the 10-year note auction providing some respite, with it being particularly strong in terms of the yield stopping through when issued by around 1.1 basis points for the 10-year note auction. But nevertheless, the general tone of the FOMC statement is just weighing on 10-year note futures. Also, they did note that any temporary price inflation pressures from the oil markets in particular are only temporary, so a generally more slightly hawkish or less dovish tone from the latest FOMC. Elsewhere, in terms of the currency space, the dollar index has continued its strength throughout the session, have traded in positive territory ever since the European Open for the dollar index, and we're looking to see whether that trend does continue tomorrow. Otherwise, that's enough from me. Hope you've had a good trading day, and we'll be joining you at the usual time tomorrow for the RANsquawk desk. Thank you very much.